and it was a yelp in the woods I have never heard in my life. I do not know what it was. I do not know how to identify it. I don't know if I could even reproduce it.
Could you try it? Try imitating it once if you could. You did it once last night. We're out here today investigating a possible Bigfoot experience. I kinda came out here because there had been sightings in the past of Bigfoot in this area during logging in the past, but I've always been curious and attracted to the kind of supernatural feeling I get when I come to this large swampy area. And this particular little piece of woods has always attracted me. So we came out here to do some hunting. I did mention to this hunter, it is the first time he's ever been out here, that yes, there was a sighting of a Bigfoot out here many years ago. He was sitting by that stump that I just showed you in the video. And something happened while he was out here that can't be explained. Now, I am a believer in the fact that there is some type of Bigfoot, whether it be a natural earth species, but I actually believe it's something beyond that. I believe a Bigfoot is something more of an elemental, something that can travel between the natural part of the earth that we live in, the natural part of the universe, and these parallel universes that are all together. There is right beyond me, in my opinion, another layer that certain things like elementals, Bigfoot, ghosts, etc. are in that we cannot see. But there's certain things that can pass back and forth through there, and I believe Bigfoot is one of those. Well, why don't you tell the story and tell us kind of what happened?
As I had walked in, sat here for about an hour, did some grunt calls, and as I'm sitting here, after I did the set of grunt calls, it's like the whole woods was disturbed, and straight across from me, over the top of his head, there was 3 yelps. One first yelp, followed by 2 close yelps, and right after that there was wood knocking over to my left. It would be to Russ's right. Over in
the big swamp.
Down in the swamp area there, covered with heavy evergreens. And it was a yelp in the woods I have never heard in my life. I do not know what it was. I do not know how to identify it. I don't know if I could even reproduce it.
Could you try it? Try imitating it once if you could. You did it once last night. Nice.
Similar to that, but it was not human. That you could tell had some human element to it. This had no human element to it.
Right. Now, to back up this evidence, I'm about 100 yards this way, and I heard all 3 of the yelps from where I was sitting. Not as clearly as he did, because they're less than 50 yards from him, you know. They're right close. and I was over there, but I heard him, and I heard one of the wood knocks that was just extremely loud. You know, it was something very big, a log hitting against another log or a tree. Extremely loud, clear as a bell from where I was sitting. And as a matter of fact, I was going to send him a text. I thought maybe he was hurt over here. But in the end, we came out here because there's something that we can't explain. I've had a couple other incidences out here where something walked past me that I couldn't see at dusk, breaking all kinds of tree branches. Like it was just a huge being. I had something run up to me in the swamp one time when it was dark out already that I couldn't see. And you know, some things can be explained. You know, you got deer, you got bobcat, there's owls, there's things that can make weird noises. But the research I've done and the tapes I've listened to of Bigfoot, the types of sound that occurred last night are very, very similar to the ones I've heard before. Either way, we're out here today. We're looking for tracks. We're trying to identify just what it might be. Are we going to find tracks? We're not positive. If this type of spiritual-like being, whether it has a physical body, sometimes it does. You can find tracks, but I'm here to say sometimes it doesn't, and you may not find the evidence you're looking for, because 3 other things happened yesterday. And November 11th, which is a significant day. I'll get into that some other time in a different video. But I was walking along with a backpack on. I got this little seat that sits behind me, and the seat's banging around every once in a while behind me. So that's occurring. And then you had something else occur too, didn't you?
It felt like someone grabbing the butt of my rifle 2 times. First time I just thought, no, it was my backpack hitting. Second time it was like somebody actually grabbed the butt of my rifle and lifted it as I was walking out. Right. And I pulled my rifle ahead and I turned around to look what was back there. Nothing.
And the other thing that happened is I'm up over there on my stand. We're hunting deer. It's deer season. And out of the blue I start having these weird illusions in my mind. Illusions or daydreams or whatever you call them, thoughts. I had these thoughts that I needed to protect this area. And the thoughts included trying to I should block off the roads. During the investigation, we found a number of large trees that had been bent over onto the trails, possibly to protect the area from human traffic, or had the trees just been bent by wind or heavy snows. These branches here that have been all bent over, this is a trail that's been here for some time. And in some locations, these large branches between 2 and 4 inches in diameter have been pulled down over the trail to block this trail so that they're not bothered out here. All kinds of weird thoughts are cycling through my mind, which I haven't had those thoughts ever out here. I've hunted out here for many years, and I really had some weird things going on I was experiencing myself. But we're going to go look for some tracks right now and see if we can come up with any hard evidence. Checking out evidence, looking for tracks. Here we got a sample of some hair here. There's no reason why I'd be sitting here. I should start looking up. Who knows what's up above you? We got these hair things up on these trees about the height of the head of a Bigfoot. I am gonna pull this down. Let's see if I can show you. I mean, I've seen stuff like this down in the southern states, but this branch hangs about 7-8 feet high, And these weird green hairs are growing on them. Right on the path where something might walk. I haven't seen them anywhere else. We just heard a loud woof. What's that? What's that dark thing up there? Straight ahead. It's all black compared to everything else. Is that just bushes? Doesn't that look dark? But anyway, we heard a loud kind of a woof noise. Woof! And we're walking along now to investigate it. I mean, it could have been a deer. Getting through these branches. Very thick back in here. Very seldom traveled, let's just say that. There's a lot of deer tracks. But it ain't the kind of tracks we're looking for. We're looking for the tracks of something besides deer that could make strange sounds. Maybe a big cat.
See those two back hooves?
Oh.
They don't put their hooves that close together. Very, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's not a Bigfoot track, but might have been some kind of big cat back here. Well, we're gonna keep walking around because there's a lot of tracks to be found here. Alright, we got some kind of a track here. We got sets of 3. Here we got a track, double track, and another single. Moving up about the area where, if we were to pinpoint a location where something ran through, making such weird noises, this would have been about where it would have been. This would have been about where the wood knocks would have been. Now, we can't see, I mean, you can almost always see when a deer makes a track. You can see part of the deer track. And this is definitely something different here that we can't identify. It looks like almost like a three-toed. In this one, you can almost see a three-toed paw with a heel. 1, 2, 3, 4 toes maybe. But the length of them is kind of odd. Now, I've seen wolf tracks before too, and the wolf tracks are usually a lot wider. Yeah, that gives you an idea about the size of it. So this isn't a huge track. This isn't like some large Bigfoot, but this is a track that is about in the area that we're assuming something had moved through last night and made some unusual activity. So maybe we have something much different here than what we're thinking. I'm going to have to ask some questions of the folks that I know that are more into the wildlife side, that they can maybe answer some of these questions for me. What type of critter might have ran through here? I mean, because there's what? How many feet between? I mean, that's a large gate. 48 inches for sure. And then a single foot, a double, and a single. With the doubles always landing together. And they came from in that dark area over there. And this is right in the area we're at right now, where the wood knocks sounded, right down in this area last night. Alright, we're down in this swamp here. Cedars. Cedars mainly. Pretty good deer pass through here, apparently. But is it thick? This is... And trees fell over and black holes all over. See that black hole down there? I mean, critters could die all over in this place, by golly. Just about anything could get lost down in here. And we saw some tracks that we can't identify, but we'll probably figure it out. But trying to figure out what would be making those calls, you know. Every one thing that we can debunk leads us closer to the truth as well, you know. So we'll keep looking here. It is thick. We finished our hike around the woods here. Put on, I don't know, 5+ miles, probably more. We hit every swamp, we hit every hillside. We did circles around the area, and no Bigfoot tracks. We did find one set of tracks that I'm gonna ask a fella I know that can perhaps identify what they are. Maybe they were a cat track that might have made this weird kind of primeval call. I spent a lot of years out in the woods here, and I cannot say that I've heard that type of call. But then I don't hear some of the big cats out in the woods, this and that. They're pretty rare. You're not gonna hear them a lot. So if you heard it for the first time, it might sound a bit unusual. So at this point, no evidence of Bigfoot that I could find. I'm maybe a little bit disappointed that, you know, we had a lot of the typical type of things that occurred to us last night. The whole woods was full of an energy that you don't usually feel most of the time when you're out in the woods. It was electrified out there last night. You could feel it while you're sitting there, and it was a great night to be out. It was a great day, 11/11, to be out, and maybe we experienced something. Can't say we didn't. We experienced something while we're out there. So no matter what it is, whether it be partly paranormal, supernatural, it wasn't an actual real species of animal at this point that we can identify.